Hello all, welcome to oodlescoop tutorial. Let us recap what we did in the previous session. We just created a Swing form of book manager, and we added 4 fields, that is book name, author, ISBN and publisher, and on click of submit button we displayed it on the console. So in today's session we are going to see how we are going to save these values on the database. There are certain prerequisites to do this. So let me assume for now that you have installed MySQL server already on your system. So I have installed a GUI for that as well, which is a MySQL workbench, right? So let me show you how that looks. I'll go here and I will search for workbench. So here is the workbench. Next, once the workbench is open, this is how your workbench looks, and inside that I have logged in and I have already created a schema called as bookstore. So how to create the schema, how to create the tables will be covered in the other tutorial sessions, but for now let us focus on just saving the value from the Swing application to the MySQL database. So I have the schema called as bookstore here. If I expand it and the tables, I have book info. This is the table name that I have created. I don't have any data now because I'm going to truncate it. So let me just truncate it and show you the empty database. This is the book name, book author, book ISBN and publisher. So I have given book ISBN as the primary key and unique. So this is the primary key for my table. Now let me go back to Eclipse, and here is where I have to write the piece of code to save this particular value into the database. But before that, there are certain preparations that you'll have to do on Eclipse before we go ahead with the SQL connection. Now here I have got something called as a MySQL connector Java 5.1.47.jar. So this is downloadable from the MySQL website. You can download the connector for Java, you can download the connector for C++ and .NET packages and other things. So I have downloaded the MySQL connector for Java. I have to link the path or the class path to this particular application. Listen to the step carefully. So what I'm going to do here is I'll right click and go to properties. Now Java build path, here I am going to add the library, but for now I'll not add. I'll show you what is the error you will get if you do not add the library by writing the piece of code that is required for me to connect to the database. So later I will show adding the jar file and then rectifying that error. Now I'll start here and I'll write a try block and a catch block. Exception. So in the try block is where we are supposed to write the connection string, because it might throw certain exceptions. So I have class dot for name, and here I am going to specify the string for the class name. So I have here com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver. I'll tell you how did I get this class.forName and this com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So let me just continue with the coding for now. Now I have connection, a connection object, and driver manager dot get connection. Here I have URL and I have username and I have the password. So I'm going to select this. See, the URL is the URL that is required for me to connect to my local database server. So I am going to say localhost colon 3306. This is the port number where MySQL will be serving. So I have specified localhost 3306 slash the name of the table, name of the schema. This is the name of the schema, that is book underscore store. So I'm going to give book underscore score. Now I just have cannot do like this, so I'll have to tell the JDBC driver or the driver manager that it is a JDBC driver which should open the port for MySQL. So what I'll do is I'll say JDBC colon MySQL colon // Now this completes the connection string, that is the URL and the username and the password which I have on my localhost MySQL server given root and root. If you have given anything else apart from root and root, you can specify those parameters as username and password. Now the connection is showing as null, so I'll have to import certain packages to this. See, there are different packages, but I'll have to go ahead with import java.sql.connection. Please do not import anything else because it results in an error. So I'm going to import java.sql.connection. Right. So once the connection string is established, I'll have to check if the connection is established or not, else I'll say unable to connect. If the connection is established, I will say connected successfully. Now I'll run this part of the code. Run on Java application. Now I have got the 4 details here. Let me enter the details and this. When I click on submit, it created whatever I wanted, but it did not process the connection part because it is not understanding what is the error or why it is not able to connect to the database. So for that I will say ex.print stack trace. So this is going to give me the error that is encountered while connecting to the database. See, it had to either display connected successfully or unable to connect. So either ways it did not display. So I just added the print stack trace. Now let me rerun this Java application. I have Java and the ISBN and the publisher. Now it gave me the exception, that is this application threw the exception. So what is the exception that it threw? It said java.lang.class not found exception for com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Now if you do not configure the jar file, that is the error that you are going to encounter. So I'll just close this application that is running and I will go to bookstore that is the project. Click on properties, go to Java build path. See here the Java build path, and I am highlighting libraries. So I'll have to configure the libraries. I'll click on this, and there are different options. As it is an external jar file, I'll say add external jars, and I will locate it to the location where I have placed the jar file. Here is where I have placed the jar file, and this is the jar file that I have to select. I'll click on open. Now it is added here. Apply and close. Applied. I'll clear the console and rerun this application. So if I rerun this application and enter the values, now it gave another error. So let us see what is the error. It said unknown database book score. So which means that I have given it was a typographical mistake. So it is book store. So if you make mistake at each and every point, it is going to throw its own exceptions. Now if I run this, it is going to give so clicked on submit. Now it is going to connect it successfully. So now I'll have to write the query and insert the values into the database. Well, there are three types of SQL statements that is used in Java. One is the simple statement, the second one is the prepared statement, and third one is the callable statement. In this example, we are going to see how to use a simple statement to insert to the database. So once I have connected successfully, I'll write statement. STMT is the object of the statement. Connection dot create statement. Next, I'll have to give the statement to it. So I'll say statement dot execute update. There are different types of different methods of executing a query. As this is being updated in the table, I'm going to use execute update. You can use execute method as well. So I'll give the query here. Insert into, the name of the table is book underscore info. Just let me close this. Yeah, book underscore info. Values, open the bracket and give this single inverted commas plus book name. This is the name of the book here and here. Why did we give the single inverted comma here is because it has to convert it into a query as a part of the string. So that is the reason we gave single inverted commas here. Next I'll give plus double inverted commas. See, I have to close this single inverted commas here. So I close single inverted commas, give a comma and open the inverted commas again. Next will be author. I'll do the same procedure. Author plus ISBN. Again the same procedure and plus publisher, concatenate. Here I'll have to first close the single inverted commas next followed by the bracket, that is the corresponding bracket, and semicolon to end the statement. Next I'm going to end the statement of the statement execute update here, and I'm going to run this particular statement. So this is the query for creating a simple statement and insert the value into the database. So now let me run this and see if I am able to save these values successfully in the database. So this is null right now. Let me run it as a Java application. You have Java J2EE author and the values. I had to book ISBN. So there is a new error that is formed. So at this location, if I see at book ISBN, the data is truncated for the column, which means the value that is the length of the value that is given as a part of the ISBN is not proper. So I had given the string format in the application, but here it is taking the integer value. So that is the reason it was a problem. So I'll just rerun this application and give appropriate values. Submit. Connected successfully and it got submitted. We did not get any errors here. Now let me go here and run the query. As I have seen here, it is displaying the values from the database. So this is how you are going to run the Swing application to save the values in the database. Thank you.